Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Paranormal Review. It is your host,
Dan the Bigfoot Man.
and the Shadow Maker. And today we're actually going to have a special episode. It's more of a podcast-type episode where we're going to talk about certain misconceptions about Bigfoot and what kind of problems they can cause when we're dealing with looking at like videos of hoaxes and stuff like that. Pretty exciting, huh, Dan?
Pretty exciting. We got a treat for you guys today.
Well, actually, we'll have a treat for you in a couple days. We're going to have a giveaway, actually, but we'll explain more about that later. So basically, we just wanted to come on here and talk a little bit about some stuff today. First of all, being the you're sick, Dan. First of all, being the assumptions that people make about Bigfoots. Right? And we've talked about this in some videos in the past. Like, people talk about how Bigfoot walks, or what Bigfoot eats, or what kind of climate Bigfoots are supposed to live in, or how tall they are, or I don't know. Can you think of anything, Daniel, about some kind of misconceptions that people have like talked about?
People always talk about their fur and, yeah, just like you said, mostly just physical appearance things and the way they walk and move.
You know, and it doesn't really make any sense because we can't really place any attributes to a Bigfoot. I mean, it's impossible. I mean, if you think about it, have we ever caught a Bigfoot and been able to observe it scientifically in like a laboratory or in a cage or something, or a zoo?
There is a bounty on a Bigfoot, though.
There is a bounty on
$2 million.
Yeah, hopefully someone can catch that. But so what I'm trying to say is, you know, we can say how does a bear walk? What does a bear eat? What does a bear do? Because we know what a bear does.
That's because we have bears that we know about. Like, we can study them and we have them in captivity and stuff.
You know, but with a Bigfoot, we can't really observe a Bigfoot walking and say, well, a Bigfoot wouldn't really walk like that. I mean, I remember the Patterson-Gimlin footage, right? And there's like a bunch of breakdowns. A bunch of scientists have looked at that footage, and one guy talks about, well, it walks too much like a human and not enough like an ape. And another scientist that I watched on a different TV program said, well, it walks too much like an ape and not enough like a human. Well, where are these people getting their scientific facts? A Bigfoot is supposed to be like a humanoid creature, right? So who's to say it doesn't walk like a human? No one knows.
Yeah, true.
You know, no one knows how a Bigfoot actually walks. So, I mean, it could walk like a flamingo, and we wouldn't even know because we haven't observed one and been able to scientifically record that data. Right? I mean, me and Dan are both Eagle Scouts. I have a bachelor's degree in criminal justice. And when we look at things, we try to look at things objectively. It is kind of hard not to include some of those preconceptions. Like, I've done that in several of my breakdowns, I'll admit it, but it's just hard not to because of all of the ingrained information that we've absorbed throughout the years looking at other Bigfoots, breakdowns, videos of people doing people doing hoaxes, actually. For example, if you look at hoaxes, right? What do we see in hoaxes?
People assume right away it's a Bigfoot.
And what kind of things do they say, Dan?
They just say, I don't know, what do you mean?
Like, okay, like, it's a Bigfoot. Look, it looks like a human, but it's not a bear. Look how it's walking. Look, people say stuff like that in videos and in breakdowns, right? You see in almost every single breakdown, and you'll see in every single hoax, right? In every single hoax, it's a hoax. You'll see the Bigfoot walking through the forest, swinging its arm, because why? Bigfoots are supposed to swing their arms, right? Because the Patterson-Gimlin Bigfoot did the arm swing.
Yeah, it's hard to not go off things like that, though, because that's really all we have. Just hoax videos.
Well,
maybe some real, who knows?
I mean, as far as like real or fake, I think the Patterson-Gimlin video is probably the most realistic we have seen. I mean, who knows if that's really a hoax or not? No one really knows. But you can't base everything you know about Bigfoot on one video.
Yeah.
I mean, even if that Bigfoot was swinging in its arms, maybe that was a really weird, messed up Bigfoot. Right?
Yeah.
I guess what we're going at here is, I just think preconceptions in the Bigfoot community are fueling a lot of these hoaxes because people that are hoaxers, they look and say, okay, what is a Bigfoot supposed to do? And they try to make videos copying everything a Bigfoot is supposedly supposed to do, even though we have no idea what Bigfoots actually do. Right? I mean, we don't know that. we always assume they live in alpine territory, but I guess that's where most sightings is. So that does make sense.
There's no way to tell though, until we catch one and study it in captivity. There's no way we'd be able to tell.
Yeah, and the one thing I wanted to bring up too is people who assume Bigfoot's not real just because there's not any evidence of a body or something like that. It is just kind of stupid because, I mean, coming from a criminal justice kind of a mindset or a view, up until like 1995, 70% of murder convictions were based on circumstantial evidence, meaning there wasn't any weapon, there wasn't a, maybe there was a body, but there wasn't a weapon or anything else tying the person to the crime other than they had a fight earlier in the day, or they told their coworker they hated that person, they wanted to kill them, and then their other friend collaborated that, and pretty soon they had enough witnesses saying, yeah, that guy probably killed that person. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I think all these people begging for a body, they're just not able to believe in a Bigfoot like creature. And who knows? I hope it's out there. I believe. But to say that we need a body to prove that it's real is kind of unrealistic, because you know what? We don't know what Bigfoots do. Maybe Bigfoots grab their dead and hide them. Maybe Bigfoots are actually aliens and they beam them out into outer space after they die. We don't know those things.
Could be true. Who knows?
I mean, who knows, right? Maybe they decay within 4 hours of dying. Not likely. That's more of a joke, but
not likely. But who knows?
That's the thing. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about Bigfoot stuff. No one really knows.
Yeah, it's hard to tell.
It's hard to tell. Anyways, guys, I just want to clear up some of those things because I'm tired of people saying, "Well, that video is a hoax because that Bigfoot does this or that," or on the contrary, that video is absolutely real because we all know that Bigfoot swing the arms just like that.
Yeah, not that we don't do that, because everyone does. Everyone that does Bigfoot reviews does that.
Yeah, we try not to, but you'll see in some of our videos we do mention things like that. Like, okay, it swings its arms like this, it's walking like that. It's just hard to get away because it's so ingrained into our conception or our assumptions about what a Bigfoot does. So, I mean, it's all we have to go off. It's all we know, right? Is what we've heard.
Yeah.
So I just want to encourage all of you guys, when observing these videos, not to take all those assumptions and just assume that they're true, and not to assume that, let's just say maybe a Bigfoot's hopping down the road in one video. You can't just say, well, Bigfoots don't hop down the road.
Because how could you know?
We don't know.
Do. Maybe that's the only real video of a Bigfoot anyone ever has.
Yeah.
And everyone's going to deny it because it's hopping down the road and people don't think they hop because all the hoaxes have them walking with their arms swinging in big, long strides. Who knows?
Yeah. Or maybe Bigfoots fly. Maybe they have some pterodactyl wings folded up in their huge hairy arms. So I just, we're going to discount things that might be true just because we're assuming things we've heard for the last 20 years or 40 or 50 or 60 years since the Patterson-Gimlin stuff. Anyways, guys, I hope that makes sense. And we're going to announce a giveaway here in a little while, so stay tuned. Please subscribe for that giveaway. It's going to be a substantial prize, and we'll tell you how you need to go about getting that surprise. There's going to be one prize for the grand winner and a special shout out for the second place winner. Anyways, guys, it's been a pleasure. This is the Shadow Maker
and Dan the Bigfoot Man.
And if you have any questions, let us know. Also, actually, on a side note, our purpose in doing these reviews isn't for fame and fortune. I mean, we get, on average, about 200 to 500 views on each of our videos, which probably, if you're talking about like YouTube AdSense money stuff, that kind of equals to about like 20 to 40 cents a video. So we're not making a bunch of money. We're just out here. We're outdoorsmen. We're passionate about this stuff. We kind of want to try to find Bigfoot. We just want to do our best breaking these things down. That's just what we want to do, and we're just catching up on all this footage has been out the last few years, and we're getting to some new stuff, as you can see. So if you disagree with some of our reviews, great. Leave us some comments. Tell us what you think we could do better. And let us know what you think about the video. If you think that they're real, if you think that they're fake, don't just take our word on it. Do your own breakdown. All right, guys. Until next time, please subscribe. And if you have any footage you'd like to send us to break down or pictures, we'll review those for you guys. Thanks a lot, guys.